Hello, I am Ray from Pocketwatch, and you are here to watch Pocket Gaming. Yes, I named my gaming channel for a terrible pun. They say start as you mean to go on. I just want to point out that my demolitionist has arrived on top of his house, which is floating in mid-air. That is all.
And now the dye trader has arrived up here, despite the fact he lives down there. Seriously, what is with this? Why is everyone arriving on the roofs? Hello, welcome back. As you can see, a lot has changed. I, of course, am wearing stuff, because, as is well known to anyone who plays TF2 and makes jokes about it, hats make you better at the game. Also, as you will have seen in the little sort of clips that I put at the start, I've acquired some more NPCs by building houses for them. I remembered the crucial point that NPCs other than the guide don't actually arrive until you build the houses for them. So you have to, unless you look at the wiki and find out who all the NPCs are and what the conditions for them arriving are, you have to just build houses speculatively and see who turns up. Yeah, let's see, this one is still unoccupied, but I'm sure someone will arrive to live there eventually. As it is, I have a guide, a merchant, a demolitionist, a dye trader, and a painter. The dye trader's house is not entirely finished because I ran out of sand. And yes, I am wearing a fishbowl and a raincoat. It's also possible to get a rain hat from the zombies who are wearing both raincoats and hats, but obviously it's kind of random. I created a star in a bottle. Apparently it can be placed, but so far I haven't managed to place it anywhere. So I might want to look that up at some point. I have a gold pickaxe, a hurtful gold pickaxe. It says bad things about your family members, and an iron broadsword, damaged amethyst stuff, and a forceful snowball cannon. Given that you can make 10 snowballs out of one snow block, this is potentially decent. The pickaxe is the main thing, though. My armor, however, is still made of wood, so I'll have to improve that at some point. Yeah, so hang on a minute, I'm going to stop recording and remember what it was that I was actually going to do. Okay, one thing I wanted to demonstrate. Hang on, I'm going to walk over here. Right. Now you see, that down there is water. Now I walk over here, the water changes colour. And the background music also changes. That's because, I think, because of the amount of sand here, it thinks this is a desert. I don't know why the water goes yellow in a desert. That's kind of weird. The water changes colour everywhere, but the yellow desert water is kind of strange. And of course, this illustrates how sort of different biomes are determined. It is just down to what blocks are around. There's a lot of sand here, so it's a desert. And another thing which is new in the 1.2 update, waterfalls. These didn't used to happen. I mean, fall damage. Yeah, like, if you sort of displaced the water, it would kind of flow out. And that still happens. But this is different. Like this is a permanent waterfall, as far as I can tell. It's not actually reducing the volume of water in here. It's just permanently falling like this. Orange bloodroot. That's nice. Okay, so now I'm here, where I basically want to be doing things. I'll record a bit more properly again. So, yeah, there's a Okay, there's a cave bat in there. Basically, what I want to be doing is still just mining out ores, because I still need better armor. I have improved my weaponry, and I have a much better pickaxe, but armor is still needed to be improved for purposes of not dying. Oh, you may have noticed I have also created for myself a robe. It doesn't do anything, but if I get more gemstones and combine them with it, then it will give me more mana and decrease the amount of mana I use when doing magic things. So that will be potentially helpful if I want to keep using this amethyst stuff, which I quite like. Yes, one thing which I kind of wanted to talk about. I mentioned, of course, when I was talking about the NPCs, the Terraria wiki, of course, which can be very helpful, telling you, important bits of information. On the other hand, and this is suddenly a game where snowflakes. Okay, this is certainly a game in which I can see why having a wiki is kind of important sometimes. But on the other hand, I feel like a lot of the enjoyment from this game can be derived from the sort of sense of discovery, finding this stuff out for yourself, and looking at the wiki too much means you lose out on that. So, at this point, I'm trying to avoid looking at the wiki as much as possible, because my original playthrough I looked at it a lot. But this time I'd rather find things out for myself, even if that means getting killed by them a lot. Yes. Yeah, see, like, things like that. Finding out that a mother slime turns into lots of little slimes. I did actually know that from experience rather than from the wiki, but still, that sort of discovery and surprise, it can potentially get you killed, but it also potentially makes the game more fun. Also, you'll note, I don't skid around on the ice as much as I used to. That's because I found some jagged ice skates. So that's nice. I seem to be making a thing of only recording these when I've got a cold. I do apologise for that if it makes my voice sound snuffly or anything. No, that's stone. It can be quite hard to tell what's stone and what's ore at times, particularly in bad light. Oh, there's a health thing up there. That's useful. I think once I get one, that will also get me another NPC, the nurse, who I don't actually make that much use of her in general, but it's always nice to get all your NPCs. Let me up. Oh, and there's gold up here. Now, here we are, life crystal. And it increases my max health. Very useful. Get ice out of the way, and I can mine this gold. So yeah, there are things like... there are bosses who you summon and then fight. And of course there are certain sort of optimal ways of fighting them. Setting up sort of an arena for you to do the fighting in ahead of time. And of course I found out about this sort of stuff by reading the wiki. But then, it might have been more interesting if I had just summoned the boss and found out and been caught unawares, and then, maybe I could have checked the wiki afterwards, after I got horribly murdered, and gone, okay, how am I supposed to deal with that? Oh, yes, if I build something like that, then it'll be much easier, obviously, and get the right sort of weapons. But, I feel it's better in a lot of cases to do that after the fact. And a lot of the stuff, like knowing how to craft things and what you can craft, you can just ask the guide and just do it by trial and error. Come where I can shoot you. Or not. Okay. No. There are two of them though. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. This is the sort of thing that you have to do quite a bit early on in the game, because you can't survive fighting these things directly, or you probably can't. Certainly you can't survive fighting, lots of them directly. Over sort of extended periods. So you have to try and just avoid being hit. Yes, there you see, a nurse has arrived. She'll be living in that spare house that I had. That also means that it's daytime back on the surface. Find out this gold and not drown. Wonderful. Bombs. That's potentially helpful. I'm running out of torches, though, but I can just make more. Stupid bats. No. Oh. Game is lagging slightly as a result of recording. That's unfortunate. I can't figure out the best way to get down there. I think I basically just have to mine straight through all of this. I think I'm going to stop talking for a bit and just fast forward through this when I'm editing it, because there's nothing particularly interesting about all this mining. So let's go. Okay, so yes, as I mentioned previously, Demonite. I need a gold pickaxe to mine it. I now have one. Because your primary source of Demonite is that it's dropped by bosses, to be honest, because you can get to the point where you can kill them pretty easily. And oh, that's strange. I thought I could mine that, because that was a boulder. Okay, yes, these are active stone blocks, which basically means they're stone blocks combined with wire, and there's probably like a pressure plate or something down there, which would have caused the boulder to drop on me. But of course I didn't walk into it. Actually, I don't want to waste my rope on this, because I'm never going to use this again. So, before all the time of rope, this is how we used to get around. Yes. Oh yes, Demonite. Primarily gained from killing bosses rather than actually mining it. Which brings me to an interesting thing. While like a large Terraria world obviously is very large, and you can find a lot of most things, you do realise when you've played it a bit that there are some things which are basically sort of infinite resources. You can get as much of them as you want, such as money. You get it by killing monsters, and there are always more monsters. However, most ores are finite. There may be a lot of, say, gold in the world, but there is a limit to how much there is, and you can potentially run out. I mean, in theory, I think you could basically just mine out an entire world until there was nothing left, and I'm not exactly sure what would happen then. I kind of want to try it at some point, once I've got sort of the most advanced mining equipment and a lot of dynamite, to reduce how long it'll take. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious. No, I can't attach, so I have to just build up. Nope, nope. Oh, you stupid bats. But yeah, it's particularly like when I also kind of, I don't like to ruin the sort of natural beauty of some of the bits of the world. Maybe kind of odd of me, but you know, it's just kind of how I feel about it, because some of it looks quite nice. And so, you know, once I've reached a certain point, I like to minimize how much more mining I have to do, which means potentially building things specifically out of those resources that are basically infinite. There we go, orange blood boot. I'm guessing this is for, yeah, orange dye. Oh, there's a worm here. You can hear it coming. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere else. Die. Stay away from me. Yeah, such as, so I end up like building big castles out of demonite bricks, because if I want more demonite, I can always just kill more bosses. There's the worm. There's some sort of ore over there. And, oh, yes, mushroom music. Man, the worm is in segments. That's kind of an interesting thing. I don't think they used to be. Like, there's a sort of worm boss thing. I've run out of inventory space. And that was in segments, but like the small worms didn't used to be. No, I need that sand. Oh, what? Oh. Drop this eyeball statue somewhere. Yes, as I was saying, here I am in a glowing mushroom biome, which means background changes, background music changes, and of course there are lots of glowing mushrooms. don't actually recall what the uses of the glowing mushrooms are. I know that there are some. Standard mushrooms you can make healing potions out of, but I suspect there's more to glowing mushrooms. And there might be even more to them now in the update. Get it? No. Changing weapons can be surprisingly difficult, actually. Yes, so I'm not actually going to go for the glowing mushrooms because I have no inventory space for them, and I'll have to go back up in a minute to drop off some things, but I want to get that gold through there. I think it's time for more no talking and mining. Here you see water reflowing. This is of course very handy because you don't want to be drowning while you're mining. Oh wow. I've actually filled up on gold ore. So I can't carry any more. Oh! I got a hook at some point. I didn't actually notice. This means again I have to leave something behind. Why do I have a table? I'm going to leave this table behind. There we go. And I've just table. There we go. The table can sit here with the mushrooms. And I will finish mining my gold. Okay, and apparently I was down there so long that night ended and the new day started, as we saw, because my nurse arrived. But then the day obviously ended and it's now night again. So yeah, that was a long excursion. Yeah, whatever. I think that's enough for now. I will. I have some better armor. Total defense of 10. I can probably go some places that I couldn't previously go, so I can explore the world a bit more. I might venture into the corruption next time. On either side. Venturing into the corruption may not have been such a good idea. I just looked at my health. It is a low number. And I've really not gotten very far.